remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same.
It's Madden NFL 23. We'll see Matt Bryant. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Colts and the Jaguars. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his second season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. 24 carries, 104 yards.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there, and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Another tote for Etienne, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 ending. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
On 2nd and 7, Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Lawrence on 3rd down. Flushed out right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 43. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. As Indy's offense takes the field for the first time, we take a look at Matt Ryan, top 10 all-time in passing yards, playing his first career season outside of Atlanta.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Play action, Ryan. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Ryan. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. McLaughlin for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense...
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Ryan, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trayvon Walker able to record his 5th sack of the season. That sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 17-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. These two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. He finds his man, complete. It's Little. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Lawrence. They'll drop that up. And a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball. Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown. Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. And we had a pair of division rivalries in primetime last weekend, Week 5, and we've got another pair of good ones coming up here in Week 6. Starting tonight, Cowboys and Eagles from Philly on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football has the Broncos and Chargers from SoFi. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. Kickoff 5:15 local time for that one out in Southern California. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. third down. Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And he is going to lose yardage here. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. It's the former Buckeye Paris Campbell out with the rest of the offense here. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a third person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Ryan. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Here's Ryan. He's going to let it go again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, Charles, you look at this offense. So what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, touchdown! Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Colts continue to pull away here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Etienne up the middle. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Rodgers on the return. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one, even at 14 apiece, as they've gone to halftime. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy.
check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. It's Mac Jones with a touchdown pass there. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Colts, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? The ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now it's Ryan. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Trayvon Walker getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. To try again after the sack. Ryan got his man complete over the middle. It's Campbell. Touchdown, Colts. Paris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or 2? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Here's Lawrence. Looking downfield for Jones. And this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Lawrence will throw. He'll give this off to ETN. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. It's the former Buckeye Paris Campbell out with the rest of the offense here.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL, except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
On second down, it's Taylor. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
They run once more with Taylor. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Colts will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outline. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Quiddy Pay
coming in to drop it for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
On the return, it's Rodgers.
A good return there, 17 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, there's really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get that underneath ETN. 7 yards there and a first down. Now Lawrence to throw.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. His throw incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Logan Cook now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
And here's Rodgers on the return.
And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. And Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Rodgers to return it. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's got some space here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for the Colts, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.